Alright guys, we're back again with the last video of the Navien install. Sorry it took so long. I lost a couple footage from the install the last day, but we went back and we installed the labels on all the feed and the returns, and then also we're doing our cleaning solution, which we do for every new system. As you can see there, I have the X800 can. This is the X100 inhibitor we do at the end. So the first thing I do is add the X800 through the system, and I run it for about 2 to 3 hours. Usually I go there in the morning, put the tank in there, and let the system run for 2 or 3 hours. That way I can clean all the pipes in there, and then when we come back, it's going to be nice and clean. After we come back there, I have to drain all that cleaning solution and that dirty water from the system. The way I do that is first I do every single zone little by little, one by one. Once I have that all drained and we have clean water in there, do not forget to do the unit itself. Shut all the ball valves off to the feed and returns and clean out the heat exchanger. After that, fill up the whole system, and then also don't forget to clean the magnetic filter. You're going to see here how dirty the magnetic filter got. I seen a lot worse, but this one was pretty dirty. And it collected a good amount of metal particles inside the heating system. It's all baseboard, copper baseboard, but the old system, anything could have got in there. Metal particles from the circulators, from the old boiler, from you name it. So anyhow, it was inside there. This magnetic filter caught it. And as you're going to see when we pull it out here, little by little, we release some air so that way it doesn't splatter all over the place. And we're going to pull out the magnet, and you're going to see how dirty the little black rings are. All the metal particles built up. You can see there all that built up there, all that metal black stuff, that sludge, it gets collected. So I send my guy out there. He's going to clean it out. Sometimes it's a real pain to clean that out because it gets stuck on to the plastic. So we use WD-40, and we clean that real good before putting it back in there. As you can see here, we're going to slide it back in there. It's nice and clean. It looks brand new. So we do it little by little because there's still water inside that container. Once we tighten it up, just hand tighten it and turn the valves back on. Once you turn the valves back on, don't forget to bleed the air from the top, whatever air is inside that container, that canister. That way you don't have no air bubbles or anything stuck inside that container. Once you have that back on, everything's good to go. All the valves are on to the whole system. And you turn the valves onto the heat exchanger also. After that, make sure the system is off before injecting the X100. Put the X100 inside there. I like doing a little tap on the bottle just to make sure all the inhibitor is going inside the system. It's a pressurized tank, so all that pressure, it is going to go feed into the system. But it does take a couple seconds to empty out that canister. I like giving it a little shaking, little taps to help the solution go into the system. You'll notice when it's all in, when the container, the canister is real light, and you'll notice through the hose that nothing is going inside. And there's like a little check valve in that hose. So the minute it finishes, there's no more pressurized inside the tank. No water from the system itself is going to squirt out. So once you're all done, shut the valve off. Remove the little hose, which comes with the canisters for the X800 and X100. Once you install the X100 inside the system, turn the system on for about 20 minutes. Make sure every zone is on to make sure the inhibitor goes through the whole system equally and it's mixing through the whole system. So as you can see here, right now we only have 2 zones calling. The 2 circulars are on. My guy is going around the house turning one by one on. Make sure all 5 in this case are on. I'm showing you how we label our system. This is the return. You can see the handles that have all little label makers with the zone itself. And there goes this whole system, how we install it, finished product, how everything is. The valve right now is off to the automatic feed, but we'll turn that back on. Still 2 zones calling, but as you can see here, they're all marked on top with the label maker. Every single circulator, so that way the homeowner knows which one to go and shut off in case of emergency. And then also on the takeout box, every single zone is labeled 1 through 5. So it's real easy for the homeowner to know which zone is on, which zone is off, and which one they have to shut off in case of emergency. So like I told you, make sure the system is running for at least 20 minutes before testing. This screen on the NFCs are pretty nice. They give you a lot of information. You got the what zone is calling. In this case, it's not going to mark 5 because only 1 is working. It gives you the temperature of the hot water and the heat, temperature outdoor, and what's happening, if it is on or off, flame on or off. So as you can see here, that's the hot and cold. This the manifold for the heat inside. Always keep that valve off. That's my valve that I use to pressurize the system when I'm bleeding it. So after it's run for 20 minutes, make sure you also purchase the testing kit for the inhibitor. We need to make sure there's enough inhibitor inside the system, so that way it's well protected. Get a little container. I have a little Gatorade bottle, which I cleaned out. Make sure it's nice and clean. Get some water out of the system and open up your testing kit. The testing kit comes with 2 tests available. This one's already used, so this is my last test. It comes with a little tube and 2 different pills. Okay, make sure you put 1 pill of each. Do not put 1 pill of the same packet. So fill up the little test container with the water you took out of the system, and open up the pills, 1 of each one. They come individually packed. Make sure you take 1 of each one, because if you put one at the same, if you put 2 pills of the same one, it's not gonna test correctly and you're not gonna do nothing. So make sure you put 1 pill of each into the water, into the container, and then once you put it in there, you're gonna start shaking it up. Shake it up, and it's gonna take a couple seconds, usually about a minute. But you're gonna see the water start turning yellow. After a while, it needs to turn yellow, and there's a little sample behind the test box. I'm going to show you that in a few, but just keep on testing it, shaking it. You see how the tube is turning yellowish already? And that's because when the 2 pills start, that's how yellow the water needs to turn. So keep on shaking it crazy until the 2 pills start dissolving. It does take a while for the 2 pills to dissolve, but you're going to see the water turning more yellow and darker. If the 2 pills are dissolved and the water is not dark yellow, that means you need to add more inhibitor. That means the water is still not protected. Make sure the water is turned dark yellow as the back of the testing strip. As you can see here, the water is turning real yellow, and I still have a little tablets that are not dissolved. So I know I'm good inhibitor, but I'm still going to keep on shaking and make sure the 2 pills dissolve, and I'm going to match it to the yellow behind the testing box. All right, so remember guys, if it doesn't turn dark yellow and you have no more pills left, get another bottle and inject the system again, because that means you're not protecting the system and you're not doing nothing because there's not enough inhibitor. So as you can see here, I'm testing it the yellow to yellow behind the box. Make sure it's dark enough, and it's still dark. It's not dark like I like it, but there's still little pills inside there. So I keep on shaking it until they're all dissolved. Behind the bottle, there's a little label. That way you could put your information on there, your phone number, the date that you installed the inhibitor. That way if anybody else comes or you come back there, you know you installed that inhibitor inside there, when you installed it. And if you touch the system, you drain the system, you know you have to refill and test for the proper amount of inhibitor. So I always put it on the magnetic filter cartridge. If you need some plumbing work done, residential or commercial, let us know. See you on the next one. See ya.